Hello, everybody. I pray that everybody is doing well. I wanted to share this with you all so that all of the intercessors can pray. The Bible says that men shall always pray and not faint. So all of us should be praying. But those that especially have a burden to pray, there's some people that are called into times of prayer because they're willing to sacrifice the time. But I ask that you all can join me in prayer for our young people. It has been a burden for months to pray for the youth, young adults, and especially lately, it has been heavy. I've been having dreams about this generation, the next generation, that we have to prepare them. We have to be very aggressive in our approach of preparing them. If we look in the Bible, I want to use Samson, for example. The angel of the Lord went to his parents and let them know. First, he went to the mother, Samson's mother, let her know what she was supposed to eat, what she was supposed to drink, different things. The Nazirite law was told to the parents. And then this is something she had to practice while she was carrying Samson. And then she had to let Samson know when he was born and when he was old enough to understand that this is the Nazirite law. This is what you are to refrain from. These are the things that you cannot do because you have been specifically sent here for a purpose. And this is the life that you have to live. So I want us as parents, teachers, mentors, youth pastors, youth leaders, to intentionally pray and cover the next generation, because they have to be ready now, being prepared for what's to come as well. You know, there's so many prophetic warnings that are going out about us as a church being prepared. Do not let the young people slip through the cracks. We have to prepare them as well so that when they come on the scene, they'll know what to do. And every generation, the glory gets it. We go from glory to glory. And so there should be a progression in what we're setting in place now, in reference to what they should do later. It should get greater. And I remember as being a little girl, and I would say, you know what, when I get older, I'm going to get saved and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Not understanding that God can use you at a young age. And so we have to be intentional about asking the Lord, what has my child been purposed to do? What were they sent to do? And when I begin to look at also the barrenness in the Bible, we look at the patriarchs, Abraham's wife, Isaac's wife, Jacob's wife, Hannah, different ones that could not get pregnant. And it was intentional because their child was supposed to be here at a particular time. And so God opened up their womb when it was time for their child to be here for a specific purpose. And so we have to understand that it was not by mistake. I don't care how your children were conceived and how they got here. It may have been uncomfortable situations. It may have been situations that we don't want to talk about and we may be ashamed about. But God has a purpose for them. They're breathing. They're here for a purpose. God created them before they were formed in their mother's womb. God had a purpose and a plan. So we have to be intentional. Those that are spiritual, those that know the voice of the Lord, those that are willing to spend time in the presence of God and ask him, what should I pray? How should I be praying? What's next on the agenda? What should I be doing now? God is giving us insight, intel from heaven to know what to release here on earth, to know what to block from not happening. And so this next generation, it's a burden on me. It's a burden so heavy, and I'm going to continue to intercede for this generation. But the dreams were disturbing. They were disturbing. And so we have to go in the spirit realm and pray and block some things and make sure we cover and be intentional about teaching them the word outside of the youth ministry at church. And some of them don't have a youth ministry at church. Some of them are not going to church at all. So we have to fill in the gaps in the spirit. We have to fill in the gaps to make sure our children are getting what they need in this next generation. If you didn't birth out any children, but you have access, you have contact with the next generation on whatever platform or whatever vein of influence God has given you, it is our responsibility. So find out, ask the Lord, why is my child here? And nurture that. Nurture what God speaks to you. You didn't just have a child to give a cute name to your child and dress them up nice and brag, this my son, this my daughter. No, why is your child here put on earth? And are you preparing them for their God-given assignment? So I felt led to get on here today to just release that. Please join me and others who's already been praying in prayer to intercept premature death, things that are happening, children that are going missing, sex trafficking, human trafficking. We have the power as God's children, as God's ambassadors to pray and stop this mess from happening in the spirit, to make sure there's no more bloodshed on the street for our young children, for this next generation, young adults, youth and young adults, babies. The enemy is trying to attack them at an early age before they even really get started. And we have the power to intercept that, to make sure that they carry out their purpose and plan. So God bless you. I love you. I pray that whoever this is for to grab a hold of this. Many people are praying for different things, but if you can take the time out to pray for the next generation, to make sure they are ready now. Every week, if you can impart something in them, teach them, pray with them, show them how to fast, show them how to consecrate themselves, to refrain from watching certain things on TV, from listening to certain music. As parents, if they are in your care, you have control over what they watch and filter out. We have to make sure that they get to their destination. And it's not depriving them of their youth, but it's making sure, steering them in the right direction. God bless you. Pray, 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 pray.